The air in Huntsville isn't just thick with humidity, it's thick with tension, pain, and unfinished battles. 5 years after what was supposed to be the end of Martell Holt and Melody Sherry's marriage, the storm hasn't passed. It's only grown darker. What began as a breakup between two reality stars has turned into a war for control, a relentless custody fight that's exposing the kind of wounds no TV camera can fully capture. Behind the polished smiles and public statements lies a family on the edge. Children caught in the chaos, a mother trying to protect their peace, and a father accused of losing sight of what truly matters. Each allegation, each missed court date, each whispered "F them kids" adds another layer to a story that feels less like drama and more like tragedy. The question isn't just whether Martell is fit to parent, it's whether the system itself is doing enough to protect the ones who can't protect themselves. This isn't television anymore. This is real life, and the cost of getting it wrong could haunt everyone involved forever. The chaos between Martell Holt and Melody Sherry has reached a point where even the air in Huntsville feels heavy with their tension. What was once a love story that people admired has now become a long, painful cycle of accusations, missed court hearings, and emotional scars. Martell and Melody's story was supposed to end with their divorce, but instead it has transformed into something darker, a public unraveling of a family that can no longer hide its wounds. Reports of neglect and erratic behavior have shadowed Martell's image, painting a picture of a man struggling to hold on to both control and relevance. It's said that his own son, Tank, has expressed fear toward him, a word that no parent should ever have associated with their name. That single emotion, fear, says more than any statement ever could. A child afraid of their father speaks to broken trust and deep emotional damage, and that's something no reality show can script or edit away. The allegations of leaving the children unattended, relying on his mother, Miss Marlene, to step in, and missing critical custody hearings build a pattern that feels less like coincidence and more like consistent neglect. The court records and school involvement suggest that this is no longer a simple co-parenting disagreement. It's a crisis, one that has forced outsiders to intervene where a father should have already been present. The school, a place that should be a refuge for the children, has now become a stage where family issues play out because adults have failed to handle them privately. Melody, in contrast, continues to display resilience. She is focused on giving her children structure, peace, and normalcy, even as Martell allegedly disrupts their stability. Her strength doesn't come from fame or followers, but from a mother's instinct to protect. Martell, on the other hand, seems to be chasing something entirely different, a version of himself that no longer exists. Once admired for his ambition and charm, he now stands as a symbol of what happens when ego and image outweigh accountability. Each time he misses a hearing or brushes off responsibility with excuses about work, he reinforces the perception that fame matters more to him than family. The irony is that the cameras aren't even rolling right now, and yet the drama persists. It's as if he's forgotten that real life continues long after the lights go out. His alleged failure to show up when it matters most speaks louder than any interview or post ever could. What people see now isn't just a man in a custody battle. It's a father losing the trust of his children, a partner losing the respect of the public, and a person slowly destroying the very foundation he once built his success upon. The longer this continues, the clearer it becomes that this is no longer about Melody or Martell. It's about 4 innocent children trying to find peace while the adults around them remain stuck in chaos. By the time summer rolled into July, the cracks in Martell's image had turned into visible fractures. The story that once played out like reality TV entertainment began to feel disturbingly real. Reports surfaced that his son, Tank, was allegedly afraid of him, a claim that instantly changed the tone of the entire situation. It wasn't about 2 exes fighting anymore. It was about a child's emotional safety. Fear is a powerful word. It carries the weight of trauma, the sound of broken trust, and the silent cry of a kid who just wants peace. The idea that Tank could feel that way toward his father shattered whatever illusion Martell still tried to maintain about being a devoted dad. The moment a school steps in, the situation is no longer personal. It becomes an official concern. The principal, counselors, and staff reportedly had to meet over Martell's behavior, signaling how deeply the conflict had seeped into every corner of the children's lives. What should have been a safe environment had turned into a battleground of whispered concerns and protective measures. Meanwhile, Martell's public persona began to erode even faster. He was no longer the charming entrepreneur or the reality star people rooted for. He was now the headline everyone couldn't stop dissecting. His absences from key hearings and alleged defiance of court recommendations painted him as someone who had mastered avoidance rather than accountability. Each missed appearance wasn't just disrespect toward the system, it was a direct insult to his children's needs. Melody, despite the exhaustion that comes from constant battles, stayed steady. Her silence spoke louder than Martell's justifications. She didn't need to defend herself. Her consistency as a mother did it for her. Where Martell's actions created chaos, Melody's created calm. And that contrast only made the story more heartbreaking, because it showed what stability could look like, if only one parent wasn't so determined to keep the conflict alive. By October, the situation had reached its breaking point. The court had given Martell every chance to show up, to take responsibility, to prove he cared about being more than just a father in name. But when October 15th arrived, he was nowhere to be found. His absence spoke volumes, louder than any statement could. Work, he claimed, had kept him away, a hollow excuse that no longer held any weight. The irony was painful. Love and marriage. Huntsville was on pause, the cameras weren't rolling, and yet Martell still couldn't find the time to face the reality of his children's lives. It wasn't just another missed appointment. It was another chapter in a pattern of avoidance that had become impossible to ignore. Each no-show, each delay, each deflection built a wall between him and the family he claimed to love. The longer this dragged on, the more it seemed that Martell's battle wasn't about custody, it was about control. Melody, on the other hand, had already moved past the need to prove herself. She was focused on building peace, protecting her children, and creating a world free from emotional turbulence. Her strength stood in sharp contrast to Martell's chaos, her calm revealing just how far he had fallen. The public, once divided, had started to see the truth for what it was, a man losing his grip not just on his family, but on his own legacy. Fame fades and attention eventually turns elsewhere, but the damage done to a child's heart lasts far longer. Martell's choices, his alleged neglect, and his failure to prioritize healing have left scars that no apology can erase. The story has stopped being about gossip or reality TV drama. It's about accountability. The court now holds the power to end the cycle and protect the children who've endured too much for too long. If there's any justice left in this saga, it lies in giving those kids the peace they deserve and letting Melody finally breathe without the constant storm that Martell has created around them. As the dust settles over Huntsville, one truth remains: this isn't just a custody battle anymore. It's a mirror reflecting how pride, ego, and unresolved pain can destroy everything that once seemed unbreakable. Martell had a family, a legacy, and the public's belief that he could turn things around, but every missed court date and every excuse stripped that belief away piece by piece. Meanwhile, Melody has quietly turned her heartbreak into strength, her silence into power, and her pain into purpose. She's doing what real mothers do, protecting, building, and healing while the world watches. Now all eyes are on the court, but the real verdict will be written in those children's hearts. They deserve calm after the chaos, safety after the storms, and love without fear. Martell can still change his story, but only if he finally steps out of his own shadow and faces the truth. And if not, the world will keep moving forward, just like Melody has, because peace doesn't wait for permission. If you followed this story and you believe those kids deserve better, make sure you stay tuned right here on The Hype Spill, where we keep the truth raw, real, and unfiltered, because this isn't just gossip, it's real life. Gossip, it's real life.